At this time, I'd like to call the council meeting for July the 16th to order. Would you please stand for the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let us pray. Father, we invite you into our meeting today to give us your wisdom and your guidance in all the decisions that we make. And today, Lord, we just lift up all the victims from all these floods and just ask that your Holy Spirit will just cover them and comfort them in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
The first item on our agenda is the meetings from the last meeting. Were there any corrections to those? If not, do I hear a motion to approve?
Move to approve.
Sorry, I have the most minor comment on page 6 of 118. We say recess and it should be reassess.
On what page was that?
That was page 6 of 118. Sorry, Lou, I meant to get with you before today.
Okay, any other corrections from the council? If not, do I hear a motion to approve these minutes?
Move to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Minutes approved. The next item on our agenda is our public comments, and we have Kevin Taylor to speak about our garbage truck. Yay!
Y'all forgive me because I don't do public speaking a whole lot.
You are fine. We will always forgive you.
But you do good mechanic work, so keep
That's
on.
right.
So, of course, y'all approved, well, good morning, Mayor and Council first. Y'all approved garbage truck in our budget this year. And I just wanted to give you a little update where we're at. So, of course, you budgeted 400, and which is what we asked for. And I have been doing some research and a lot of looking and trying to make sure we get the right thing because we're going to a different style than what we have previously had. So I found a guy that we actually bought the last new truck we bought from, and he has been really good to work with, and it's the one I was hoping to go with because of what it is, and it's actually coming in the cheapest.
Ooh.
And to top that off, he actually already has one ready, so we don't have to wait. It'll be like maybe a 3 or 4 week turnaround time.
Is that the one you went to look at the
Yes,
day I
ma'am.
saw you?
Yes,
And you
ma'am.
liked it?
And if it's okay, I'd like to just, this is the exact truck, but not the exact truck. They're all identical, but this is the one that I actually came and looked at. Not that y'all really.
And it will lift up the trash can.
Yes, ma'am.
Inside.
Automation.
It's the automated truck, so it's a one-man operation after we get everything situated. Because we're kind of still not exactly ready for it, but it's kind of the direction we're gonna have to go. But,
Well, that's great. It's exciting to be proactive with a garbage truck instead of waiting till it dies and look for one.
But it's coming in probably, it's almost $40,000 on the budget.
Ooh, that's
Good.
great.
Very nice.
And
You don't hear that much.
it's this, well, it worked out good because it's already ready, so we don't have to worry about building or go through any other cost. But I got other quotes. They're higher if y'all would like to see them, but I guess with y'all's approval, I'm gonna go ahead and go about purchasing the truck.
Is this a local, in-state vendor?
It's out of Midland.
Out of Mebane?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Very nice.
And we've bought 2 street sweepers from them. The last garbage truck came from them, and they're really good to work with. And the guys very helpful. So, and like I said, they actually came in the cheapest of all.
As long as it didn't get caught in the flood.
Do what?
As long as it didn't get caught in
No,
the flood.
sir. The truck's not actually in state at the moment, so
Oh.
that works out good.
Well, Kevin, thank you for all you did to find us the right truck, and especially, at a cheaper price. And we appreciate all you do every day.
Thank you.
Thank you so
you.
much.
Thank you.
Kevin, let me give this copy back to you.
The next item on our agenda is our daytime council meetings. Lou? We just said in December that we were going to try having daytime meetings for 6 months.
Right, we did.
And then revisit it to see how it had worked for everybody. And so, are there any comments concerning this from the council?
Mayor, if I may, I'm not against the morning meeting because I think it's another viable option for our citizens, especially what led us here was some of our elderly not coming out in the winter months. And we did it to see could we boost attendance. Attendance looks like it has been about the same, but here's my main concern, and it's just food for thought. When you are running your meeting in the evening and now run it in the daytime, and most of us that have served on this council, I think I'm one of the last ones to come on, what you realize is that the work is more than just in those two meetings. There are other meetings that go along with it. There's ribbon cuttings, there's ceremonial type of other things that go along with this work. And sometimes it's just good public policy to be in other places so that there's a level of engagement with the constituents. And I said all of that to say, food for thought, as we move forward as a council, I would be concerned if someone was not retired or didn't work for themselves or did not have the opportunity by ways or means and resources, would that prohibit other potential candidates even considering a run for this council? And like I said, I'm not opposed to what we're doing. I actually like it. I think it's worked fine, but that's just food for thought as we look at the overall scope of what we do, how we do it, and what the level of expectations will be for anyone who considers to be a candidate.
And, you know, I would hope we would be flexible enough that if that happens, you know, then we could adjust this.
That was actually one of the concerns that I brought up with the mayor prior to, because we do have an election coming up, and I wasn't sure if there was going to be anyone else running. But that would be something that I think a candidate would look at. Can I even attend the meetings? Is there a possibility to put in here just like a little stipulation, you know, that the fact that those meeting times can be adjusted according to who's on the council and what their availability is, or some language that lets another candidate in the future know that it could be changed?
I didn't put the whole ordinance in here, but further down in this ordinance, it does say that the council has the right to adjust its meeting
Right.
times as it sees fit,
Okay.
basically.
And by law, if we published our meeting notices, we just we just publish a change of the meeting. So if there was, you know, we needed to change it.
Right, I just mean like if there's a candidate in the future who works full-time and
Right.
cannot make this morning meeting work, would they say, oh, I'm not even going to run for election because of this time? So I would just want it to be known to the public,
Yeah.
this
that
is
could
not
be-
set in stone, that if there are candidates in the future who would want to run, that this could be adjusted to accommodate.
That's the good thing about being a town council is y'all can vote to change this ordinance anytime you want to.
And you're going to always have issues because if people are elected, they can't always attend the events that you're talking about. So, but we're very flexible and fair, I think, with what we do.
Oh, absolutely. I would agree.
So, does anybody else have any comments? If not, do I hear a motion to adopt ordinance 2025-23, amending the Nashville Code of Ordinance, making the second regular town council meeting of the month, the third Wednesday of the month at 9 a.m. with, you know, with the ordinance that we are very flexible to change it.
Move to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. The next item on our agenda is the CDBG-NR grant application, the public hearing for that. Randy?
Mayor and council, we have with us this morning Ben Jones. He's going to be leading us in this public hearing this morning for this CDBG-NR grant application.
Good morning, Mayor and Council. It's good to be with you this morning. As Town Manager Randy introduced me, I'm here to talk about the CDBG-NR application that the town is working on. So this is the first of two public hearings that we'll hold for this application cycle. This public hearing is essentially here to let the public know that the town of Nashville is actively pursuing an application for a CDBG-NR grant program. This grant has a maximum ask amount of $950,000 for us to work on low-income housing in the town of Nashville. The qualifications for a home are that the owners must occupy the home, so the home must not be rented, and also that the owners of the home meet the LMI criteria set by HUD. The town has, I've been working with Sean and Thomasine, and they've provided me with a potential list of candidates. I've already started on income surveys and door-to-door, and so far we've completed 3 income surveys, and we'll probably need a total of 7 to complete an application. So I'll be back in town maybe later this week or next week to hopefully complete those. From this meeting, we will advertise to hold another public hearing in July, August, and that meeting will be to discuss what the application ends up being as far as how many homes and what we're proposing to do, reconstruct or rehabilitate those homes. And applications are due October 29th.
October 29th. I'm excited about this, and you gave a testimony all about it.
Yes. Mayor, if I may, Sean, how many, well, you can answer that. How many potential applicants were we able to provide him? You probably got that number.
We said, me and Mr. Jones on top, roughly 10 houses to look at in the entire area, the Circle Drive area that we had talked about. We told him to go through there, the majority of people were homeowners. So he's been canvassing around those different locations that he said.
Everything's in Circle Drive?
We told him just to check the entire property, that whole street, because everybody who lives on that street is a property owner.
Do we not have any potential candidates throughout Nashville in other locations?
Yes, sir. We gave him First Street extension over here by the school. Well, not First Street, First Street. First Street extension, of course, was Indian Trail. We gave some stuff in Indian Trail, some other stuff in different areas in the Brooklyn Heights neighborhood that we realized there were good potential candidates for the program.
Can the council get copies of those
Yes,
potential?
that's no problem. We can provide it, send out to you by the document.
Okay,
Yes,
awesome.
sir.
And you've got 3 already?
Yes, sir. I have. I was here last night from about 5:30 to 8:30, and I was able to complete 3 surveys while I was here.
And this is just a fact-finding survey at the moment, right?
So these surveys are a vital part of the application. So what they consist of is essentially getting the individual's information. So like how many people live in the home, what's the income amounts, do they own the home, that typical information. And then it also, we go through each part of the home, the foundation, the floor system, the roof system, the walls, the ceilings, the windows, and we'll go through and mark the severe needs and the moderate needs and take pictures of all those things. And then in our application, those surveys with attached pictures will be in the application.
And Councilman Taylor, I will also say that there were some other great candidates that we thought would be good for the program, but when you do the research, you find out they are tenants, which kind of disqualified them. So we did find some other potential ones in those areas that we thought would be real outstanding candidates to apply for. But when we saw they were tenants, it was pretty much a disqualification to keep them out of the game.
Understand.
And if you have any, when they send you this list, if you have any additional houses or individuals that you'd like surveyed, I'd be happy to include those in a survey. That was one issue I ran into last night on a few different occasions, is that a lot of the homes that I stopped at were tenants.
Understand.
Any other questions?
I have a Mayor. So in a town our size, it's not hard to find 7, correct?
No, I wouldn't expect
Okay,
so.
all
I
right.
would expect that I'll probably come one more time, maybe 2, and I'll have a number of
Okay,
surveys.
I
we
wouldn't
need.
think so either.
This does not have to do with you, but those who are tenants in these homes, if they have some severe conditions that need to be taken care of, the landlords should be doing that. So maybe we take note of things that we need to follow up with outside of this grant application.
If you would,
We can get them, and then we can send out a memo housing case
Right.
report to let the landlord know they need to do it. The majority of the tenants, they won't express those things to you because they always live in fear. And if you
Right.
send a letter to the landlord, they're gonna keep me out, put me out on the street.
Right.
Yeah.
But
So
we
they
don't,
let us in, we'll
yeah.
be glad to help them out.
yeah,
Give
that's
some
the last thing I would want, but I also don't want anyone living in squalor with the landlord just taking the cash and not doing what needs to be done.
We try to express to them and tell them that if you let us in, we'll help you out to the best of your ability and give you something to make the landlord work with the landlord to get it fixed up. But they have that remnant of fear in the back of their mind that as soon as you tell the landlord he's gonna give me a 30-day vacate and bring
Right.
somebody else new in.
I guess if it's things that we can see from the outside, maybe
Right,
that,
we can do exterior stuff
Right.
to kind of open up the door to kind of get us in there. Yes, ma'am.
And if you would like, while I'm boots on the ground these couple weeks, I can make note
Thank
of
you.
the rentals that I see.
thank you.
And
That would
typically,
be good.
the way I'm confirming that is by checking the property record. You know, sometimes I'm not even knocking on the door, but I'll just check the property record and see that the physical address is different from the tax mailing address, and typically that would make it a rental.
Is it household income or is it owner income?
So it's household income. I have a copy of that here if you'd like to see.
So that kind of messes up a lot of people, I'm sure.
So it's kind of a sliding scale from one occupant all the way up to 8, and then as long as they are below the 80%. So these.
Okay, well, those numbers would work, okay. Yeah.
Could you pass that around?
Sorry.
Could we have a copy here?
You can take that one. I'll print another one.
We'll print this for all of us, please.
And Mayor, if I may, I was not in the last council meeting, but I was able to watch live stream. Number one, I want to say thank you because I appreciate your presentation. I think this is really what we're all about in our community. We try to help our fellow constituents whenever there's an opportunity, and this being a grant of almost $1 million, I was able to listen to a lot of your presentation from the last time. I'm fairly impressed with that and hopeful that this will be a go, and that it can be very beneficial, and not only just this cycle, but maybe there's some other cycles that we can get in and help assist to make this work. But my question is, we're talking about 7 for the survey. Now, when you talk about 7 for the survey to be able to submit part of the package and all of that, we'll be able to service more homeowners than just 7.
This particular year, more than likely not. So this program is more geared towards extensive work, where there are a lot of programs that will do a little bit to help a lot of people. This one will spend, we may spend upwards of 160, 170, depending on how big the house is, $200,000 on one house by, asbestos inspecting it, abating asbestos, demoing the house, relocating the occupants, and then building a new house back. And that's what a lot of these will be. So we'll typically, in any given year in a program, we'll typically be able to do 4 to 5 houses, and then we'd like to have at least 2 to 3 alternates in our application. Therefore, I don't think this is going to be as big a problem anymore, but like in years past, I've had, I come back after we've got the project funded, and like NC Rebuild's already tore somebody's house down and rebuilt it, and so then we lost that applicant, so we got to go to our alternates, and so that's why we look for 7, is for that purpose.
Okay. And that makes sense. When you gave the clarity of the scope of what you do, it's not just, like you said, spread across to get the largest buck for bang, but being more so intentional about the scope of work that you do with every individual family. So that makes sense.
Yes,
so
sir.
thank you.
Yeah, and one of the great things about this program right now is in years past, there has been a limit on how often a town can apply. But a few years ago, they have waived that ruling, and so at this point in time, we can apply every year for funds. So, in an ideal world, we would do 4 or 5 this year, 4 or 5 next year, and keep going until either we run out of houses to work on, or they remove funding for the program.
Okay.
Mayor, if you don't mind, can I approach the chamber?
Sure, certainly.
Is this NC funded or federally funded?
So so the funds come from HUD, but they're administered by the Department of Commerce, North Carolina Department of Commerce. So I guess it's federally funded, but it's administered by Commerce.
And I guess you know where my question is going, where I'm leading to. Is it subject for funding to be cut back or withdrawn, as a whole lot of things that are being drawn back by the federal government now? Has the money already been allocated to the state? Or are
Correct,
we waiting
yeah.
for it to come to us?
Yeah, so the state has already announced their funding for the year, and so they've let us know that they have X amount of dollars to put towards these programs, and then there's always X number of dollars of de-obligated funds from previous years that kind of combine together and get distributed. So they already have that allocated to the
It's already
state.
in our account. Okay, good. That's good.
Any other questions?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Just a correction on the public hearing notice. Board of Commissioners should be Town Council. So just in the next one that goes
Yes,
out.
ma'am. Thank
you.
Any other comments? If not, do I hear a motion for us to go into a public hearing concerning the CDBG-NR grant application?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there anyone in the audience that would like to have input to the, on this topic?
Thank you, sir.
Okay, do I hear a motion that we come out of public hearing?
So, baby.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
So I think everybody's happy with the program.
All right, well, thank you guys
Thank
so
you
much.
so-
I appreciate your time
Thank you so
today.
much.
And if you need anything, the manager and Sean have my number, so you can reach out to me through them. Anyway,
Thank you
so
for
much.
coming
you.
today, we appreciate it.
Mayor, as a point of order, could you get a motion a second to approve going forward with the application?
Okay, we do that even after the first public hearing? Okay, I just didn't realize that. Do I hear a motion that we go forward with this program, with the program for our, the CDBG program?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Sorry. Thank you.
Thank you, appreciate
And
it.
Mayor, I would encourage all the town employees and this council to make sure that all of us move around town quite a bit. If we recognize any homes we think may qualify, to either let Randy know or Sean know so we can pass that on to him. Because out of the 7 or 8 that you've given him, half of them may not qualify.
Right.
So there may be some that we may have overlooked. And like I spoke before, one of my family members, 20 years ago, the last time we had this kind of grant here in town, and it did a great job for her house, and she's enjoying it today.
Good. That's good to
We need
hear.
to promote it.
Thank you so much. The next item on our agenda is Glover Park Hand Washing Station.
Mayor and Council, Nash County was awarded $900,000 community development grant. The CARES Act, a grant to provide free Wi-Fi service and hand washing stations, along with rental and utility subsidy payments to citizens in Nash County. We entered into a interlocal agreement with Nash County to put a Wi-Fi tower at Glover Park and provide free Wi-Fi service with that grant in Glover Park. Here this morning, we have Emily Moore with us from Nash County, and she would like to present a proposal to amend that interlocal agreement to add a hand washing station at Glover Park.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
So I am Emily Moore. I'm the Grants and Intergovernmental Relations Director with Nash County. My memo starts off very similar to his. So Nash County was awarded $900,000 in fiscal year 2020 Community Development Block Grant Coronavirus, so CDBG-CV funds. Of the $900,000, a portion was allocated for public facilities to complete hand washing stations and Wi-Fi towers. An interlocal agreement was signed in March of 2022 to approve the installation of a Wi-Fi tower at J.W. Glover Park. The Wi-Fi tower was installed in late 2022. Hand washing station locations were undergoing a revision to remove some locations and add additional locations, including adding one at J.W. Glover Park. Now that this revision has been approved with NC Department of Commerce, we are moving forward with interlocal agreements and amendments and will then proceed with installing hand washing stations. we request that you approve the interlocal governmental agreement First Amendment, amending the existing interlocal agreement to include the hand washing station at J.W. Glover Park. I'd like to note that the exact location of the hand washing station has not been determined and will include the town of Nashville in the design process. So currently, we do have Wooten engineers who will help us with this, but the entire park is covered within the environmental review.
Good. I think that's needed out there. So, any comment?
How many stations are we talking about?
With the grant total,
I mean, for Glover Park?
for
how many?
Glover, 1.
Just one hand washing station?
I'll say for the countywide, I believe it's 8. Like I said, it's undergone lots of changes over the past 5 years.
Okay, so we can get one. Can you
And
squeeze-
one is better than none.
One's better than none.
So, any other comments concerning this? I'm really excited about having one out there. So, do I hear a motion to approve Resolution 2025-24, amending the CDBG-CV interlocal agreement with Nash County to add a hand washing station at Glover Memorial Park?
So made.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Mayor,
Yes.
if I may ask Emily. Emily, what do you think your turnaround time will be with this particular project, being that we've just given you the go-ahead from the local council?
So we are taking it before our board to get our half signed on the interlocal agreements in August. I think it's August 4th maybe, but whenever our first August meeting is, the entire grant has to be completed by the end of this December. So now it is fiscal year 2020 and it's now 2025. So in full disclosure, it has not had the fastest turnaround as far as grants go. But the hope is that we will hit this milestone, and we had it extended through the end of this December.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. The next item on our agenda is the facade improvement grant approval for 205 West Washington Street, the painted teacher. Sean.
Good morning, Mayor and Council. Miss Kimberly Colbert and Miss Garrett Shern both apologize they could not be here today. Both of them planned vacation this week and did not know this was the week of the morning council meeting. But both of them entrusted full confidence that I'll be able to get this through to get it passed off for them. You see before you that Garrett Shern is the one who is renting that property at 205 West Washington Street. It is the Painted Teacher's Boutique. Kimberly Colbert is the owner. She has applied for the facade grant. She has made all the recommendations for approval of the facade grant to be brought to the council. She submitted the application as we asked. She has submitted a picture of what she plans on the Painted Teacher to look like on page 2. It's kind of like in the Cameron Village in Raleigh. I actually took a trip up there to visit, to take a look at it. It was very nice. This is what she's planning to do with the Painted Teacher. On number 3, she has submitted the paint chip. They actually gave us the real chip, but Garrett also sent a copy to put in our packets right here of what they're going to be using. It'll be a turquoise and black. She's also submitted a scope of work on the proposal. Ravens Builders will be doing all this for Kimberly and Garrett. They'll be taking care of everything, getting the mortar joints prepared for the brick wall, prepping the brick for any future painting. Also, the labor materials will be installed. As you know, at the previous daytime meeting, we did some updating to our ordinance. We were not able to have a quorum in June due to people on vacation for the MSD, but we did approve in our new ordinance that we can vote for recommendations like this through e-voting. So we sent out a private e-voting. Everybody that responded within 72 hours responded yes for this to be approved to sit in the council. So, Mayor, what we are asking and requesting for Ms. Kimberly Colbert and Ms. Garrett Shern, the tenant of the Painted Teacher, is for the town council to approve the facade grant with the money not being reimbursed until they submit all receipts and everything to the town. We go out and do a visual inspection to make sure it meets what they submitted, how it was supposed to meet.
Any questions for Sean? If not, I think it's great we're using this money to beautify downtown, the storefronts. Do I hear a motion to approve the $5,000 facade grant for the 205 West Washington Street?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
The next item, thank you, Sean. The next item on our agenda is the crosswalk request.
Mayor and council, we have a request for 2 crosswalks. our ordinance, our code of ordinances has a section where pedestrian crosswalks that are deemed to be dangerous and potentially hazardous are created by ordinance by the town council. And we have a request from Jonathan Boone, the assistant county manager, to request the sidewalk be established and maintained on South Alston Street at Elm Street for the safety of the county employees crossing Alston Street from the county's gravel parking lot heading to the administrative building. We also have a request from the Nashville Methodist Church, and Scott Hale is here for that request for a mid-block crosswalk between its parking lot and the church. And at this time, Scott, if you wouldn't mind, maybe briefing the council a little more on at least your request.
Good morning, everyone. I come very ill prepared because I did not have pictures, and I did
That's
take
fine.
responsibility. We have seen a tremendous amount of growth at our church, and going from our parking lot into 100 block of Hilliard Street to the church entrance, we see a lot of people going back and across there, and we would like a sidewalk, a crosswalk there. So at least maybe it would slow people down from driving down to 100 block of Hilliard Street to let them know that people could be crossing there.
True.
So,
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes.
Randy, with these requests for the crosswalk, I think his is all on level ground, so we don't have a sight problem. But this one for the county, coming over there, if I'm looking at the right one, this is the one coming from in the town where the old Richardson Funeral Home used to be. Is that correct?
It is.
That hill is is terrible. Do we need to go even further? If we do approve this crosswalk, is to put like some kind of signage or warning light at the top of that hill, because people come across that hill up there coming into town. That's a dangerous place right there for a crosswalk.
Well, and that's
even a
just
marked
it.
crosswalk.
When Jonathan Boone made the request, he said a crosswalk in of itself probably isn't going to do the trick. We need to, up by Cedar Street, up the top of the hill, put a sign that says pedestrian crosswalk ahead.
Okay.
Or
Slow
either
down.
put a sign that has little yellow blinking lights, because a lot of times
We
people do
could.
not pay attention to those signs, just
signs.
like we've got a sign in here that says, please allow for people to back out. Nobody pays attention to that. Very few people. But if you have a sign that just blinks yellow to sort of warn them to slow down, but that's just a thought.
I think the applicant should take care of that.
The applicant can
The
take care of
applicant
that,
can take care
yeah.
of that.
I would be more than willing to approve both of them, but especially the one coming into town on Austin. I think we need to put a caution light at the top of that hill.
Amen. And go ahead.
Kim Moore, the district DOT engineer, when I sent her this, her staff recommends 2 crosswalks there at Elm and Alston, one coming from north to south across Elm Street, and then one going east and west across Alston Street.
Oh, yeah,
So
okay.
that's, you can see in the picture, the ADA ramps are there already. The
Yeah.
county parking lot will have to have an ADA curb cut in there, and I've talked to Jonathan Boone about that, and it sounds like the county would be willing to incur the cost of that, and then we could paint the crosswalks. And I'll also talk to Jonathan Boone about, the pedestrian crosswalk sign ahead for up at Cedar Street, and we can get that installed and put in place.
Mayor, I got-
Yeah.
At the county's expense.
Yes.
Excuse me.
I have a question for, I guess Randy. So you said this list, which I just saw this week, is approved and maintained. Was that what?
The latter part of that, I won't,
Yeah, I mean, I literally went by and looked at, and there's like
Yeah.
2 of these look good. The rest of them you can barely see.
Brian and I were looking at that list a couple weeks ago, and Brian's like, I got to order some paint.
Yeah, okay.
Well, and I would encourage, so the one in front of, I guess the paying teacher close to it, has like big rectangles and you can see it. The other ones just have 2 lines and it's like, what does that mean? So I think we really need to look at doing rectangles or something different in the middle
Big
of
blocks.
them so that people know what they are. And we need to do all of them, and all of them need repair. The only ones that are good shape are the ones in front of Wendy's, which are brand new. Everyone else is either you can't see it at all,
Yeah.
or it's paved over, or it's faded so far that you have to look for it. And so I think we need to look at this list.
requests like this make you go to your ordinance and take a look.
Right.
Mayor, if I may.
Nothing wrong with that.
I know it's like an act of God to actually get a crosswalk on a street that we don't maintain. But I have to bring it back up for Washington Street. There's such a gap between the last crosswalk at Painted Teacher and then Cooley Manor. You can't legitimately cross at Alston Street, which I think is crazy.
Well, Ulster's on the list. But
Well,
it's not, there's nothing
not
there, though.
there.
It's not there, but it's on the list.
It's on the list for
It's on the
East
list.
Washington and Alston?
Yeah, all four
It
corners.
should be there already. It's just been overlaid and we've never gotten around to
Really?
repainting it.
Because I thought that this was
All-
a problem
all
when
four
when we
corners.
brought it up for the pedestrian crosswalk. It was something with the DOT not approving for that area, so that's good to hear. And then I would think too that there's probably another gap over by the church where there should be something even before Cooley Manor to be able to cross from the north side to the south side without having to walk down to Alston or Cooley. There should probably be something available in the center there.
Well, and we have a list of our sidewalks because we're getting ready to fix them. Can't we look at our list and maybe get with Corey and Ashley and maybe have a walking plan with the crosswalks where people can actually flow the town a little better than we have been? I mean, because we have a list of them all. We're getting ready to hopefully fix them this year. It's in the budget, and I don't know why we couldn't include a trail in town that kind of flows. It wouldn't be that much harder to do.
What's the address for your location again?
It's the 100 block of South Hilliard Street.
Okay, thank you.
And a goal of the council is, to keep all of our citizens safe. So we appreciate you bringing that before the council. So are there any other questions or comments? If not, do I hear a motion to adopt ordinance 2025-21, establishing a mid-block crosswalk on South Hilliard Street between the Methodist Church and its Hilliard Street parking lot, and a crosswalk on North Austin Street at Elm Street with those adjustments mentioned?
So made.
Is there a second?
Second?
All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you so much for coming.
That's
The next item on our agenda is the East Water Tower exterior painting.
Well, Mayor and Council, it was recommended at our last inspection of the East Water Tower, which is by Clayton Homes, that the exterior be repainted. So we put in the budget for FY26 that we're in right now for monies for this painting project, and we got bids from 4 different companies to do that painting to the specifications that we had come up with, staff came up with, working primarily with Southern Corrosion because they've painted our towers in the past, and the East Water Tower's got a different kind of paint on it that, unless you're going to repaint it with that same kind of paint, you pretty much got to take it down to bare metal and start all over again to get it to stick. So it's got the right kind of paint spec, the alkyd aluminum paint, and we got the 4 bids. There's Voles Restoration Services out of Sandy Ridge, North Carolina at $62,250. Southern Corrosion out of Roanoke Rapids, $77,385. Utility Service Inc. From Madison, North Carolina at $79,995. And then Customs Coating Inc. From Hickory, North Carolina at $189,681. The 2 metal companies we have used in the past to paint towers. We've never done any work with Voles Restoration. Now, Southern Corrosion does use them as a subcontractor. I was told if they, painting water towers a lot of it is dependent upon weather. And you can have contracts and assume you have plenty of time to get them all done, and then you get a rainy period and you can't get out. So Southern Utility Service Company has used Voles Restoration in the past when they can't get to a tank or a tower to have it painted, and they have a good opinion of that company. But since we never did business with them before, I had Brian Grice, our Public Works Director, do some calling around. And at this time, I'd like Brian to come up and let you know what he found out regarding this company.
Good morning, Mayor.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So Randy gave me a list of approximately 25 references that have used bowls in the past. I reached out to approximately 15 of them. I was able to get in touch with about 9. For the most part, all of them had nothing but good things to say about them. Said they were very professional, work was done in a timely manner. When I asked if they would invite them back to bid on future projects, they all said yes. So, I mean, there was one negative that it went over schedule, but in the same sentence, he said it was part of due to the weather. So, I mean, that's the only
Can't control the
negative I
weather.
have.
Now, are we gonna have our Nashville on that water tower?
Well, these prices don't include the logo, but we did get a price from Vols to put the logo on the north face and the south face of the east tower for $6,200 more.
Go for it. No, it's up to the council.
I agree price-wise, go for it, but I have, man,
Okay.
I have one concern.
Okay.
I read through these contracts that they gave us, and nowhere in Bo's contract did they mention insurance, because if I remember correctly, the last time we had our west tower painted, the residents down there all were up in arms because of paint, what you call it?
Oh, when they were cleaning it off?
Yeah, the wind blew it on painting some cars and painted some of everything else beside the tower. I realize this one is not directly in a residential area, but it's where a lot of cars are gonna park. So is there any indication of insurance to cover any mishaps like that?
Well, we require that they carry a certain level of insurance, but they're going to roll this. They're not going to spray paint it. The tank itself is going to be rolled. Probably the only thing they'll spray paint are the legs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just like when they painted, when Southern Corrosion painted the West Water Tower 2 years ago, they rolled it with rollers. That's how they painted it. And that's one of the things that Southern Corrosion, when he called me, because I sent the bids out to all the bidders, they called and had a concern. They said, now, remember with this aluminum paint, when you're rolling it, you got to roll it this way and this way to get good coverage. And if you don't do it right, when you're finished, you'll be able to see where you didn't roll it properly. So he wanted to remind me about that. So we'll make sure, you know, if we do go with Vols, the low bid, that they're going to roll the strokes correctly so nobody has to come back afterwards and touch it up.
Well, you said it, but they do spray paint the legs. Look how tall these legs are.
Yeah.
If you
yeah,
spray paint at the top of this, I mean,
yeah.
paint mist is gonna go wherever.
But the paint they use, Larry, for the most part, by the time it hits the ground, it's dry. And if it does get anything, you take your leaf blower or a towel and you just wipe it off because it's dry dust.
You know, that's still a concern, because if the paint gets on anybody's property, or car, house, or whatever, they're not gonna look for Bose, they're gonna look for the town of Nashville.
Yeah, and it'll be Clayton Homes, and that one bid we got, I think they were planning on painting Clayton Homes buildings too, along with our tower, for the price they gave.
They didn't want the job.
Probably not.
Clayton Homes has a large parking lot, so you need to be prepared for that now. I mean, have any kind of coverage.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brian.
Any other comments from the council? If not, do I hear a motion to approve Resolution 2025-21, awarding $62,250 contract with Bowles Restoration Service from Sandy Ridge, North Carolina, to wash and paint the east water tower, an additional amount to paint the town's logo on the tower.
An additional $6,200
Right.
on top of the $62,000.
I make that motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion, one negative.
One day. And that's because of the insurance.
Motion carries. The next item on our agenda is the sale of the vacant lot on North Boddie Street.
Oops. Get to it here. So, Mayor and Council, the town of Nashville owns a small lot on North Boddie Street. It's not very wide, it's only 37 feet wide. And I'm not sure the history on how we ever acquired it. I'd asked the former mayor, and he didn't recall either. But Nash County owns one right alongside of it, which is on the corner of Cedar and North Boddie. Anyway, we got a proposal from BVA Enterprises, which is the company that purchased our vacant lot on North Lumber Street about a month ago. And on that one on North Lumber, they're going to build a new home on it. They're interested in doing the same thing here with our lot and Nash County's lot, putting the two together to get one large enough to build upon. So they had given us a proposal for our lot of $5,500. So following our policy for selling real estate, this bid of $5,500 would be subject to, we have to advertise it in the newspaper and see if we get any others. If we don't, then it'll be theirs. But first thing you need to do is declare it surplus and put it forth for upset bid.
Any questions for Randy?
I have one, Mayor. So 37 by 115 is not big enough for a house, or is it?
Well, it is, but, with only 37 feet wide, and you have to have 6-foot setback on either side, you're ending up with a shotgun house. I mean, it can be done, but since they're both vacant, and Sean has talked with Jonathan Boone at Nash County, and Nash County, they're going to be putting theirs up for sale too, so be a good chance the same company can get both and do a nice development there.
The reason I ask is the 55 seems cheap, but at the same time, it's not done much good for us sitting there for 40 years. But
Right.
But I think, for clarification, Randy, I think 55 is all we can find that we've got invested in it, right?
Say that again, Larry?
Then 55 is all we have invested in that property. That
I
I'm
don't
aware
even
of.
know if we have that invested in it.
Right, mhm.
Again, it's been so long ago, I couldn't find any details on how we came about that property.
Does the county know why they own that other portion?
I don't think so.
I've had a conversation with Jonathan. I think it's kind of the same thing that we ran across and stumbled across. We ended up with a property not knowing how they got track of that property neither. So they're kind of doing a little research now on their end to see how they end up acquiring the property next door.
Okay. Any other?
It seems funny that we acquired a property
Right,
and don't know why, and they acquired one right next to us,
right,
and they don't know why.
right.
It seems like we got both of them, or they got both of
Right.
them, one or the other.
It's very
It
curious.
is. Any other questions? If not, do I hear a motion to approve Resolution 2025-22, declaring the town's vacant lot on North Boddie Street as surplus, accepting BVA Enterprise offer to purchase it, and advertising for upset bids and the accepted purchase price?
That's a mouthful, but I'll put.
Thank you, dear. It
I'll
was.
approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
The next item on our agenda is Red Oak Road Water Extension Project Ordinance.
Yes, Mayor and Council, as you guys know, we were awarded $500,000 from the Golden Leaf Foundation to extend our Red Oak Road water main to the site of UNC Health Nash's new clinic. And we need to begin that with selecting an engineer. So because the engineering on this project is over $50,000, we had to go through a request for qualifications, which staff has done. We only got one engineer to submit a proposal for it, for qualifications, and we reviewed that, and of course, it's a water main extension, so most civil engineering firm is qualified to do that. So having only one, they gave us a contract for doing the engineering work, and that's from Stocks Engineering, which we will have that here on the agenda a little later. But what we're doing here with this item,
Sorry.
no problem. What the council's doing with this is adopting a project ordinance. This is something that school government recommends, and we found out that, you may plan a project to happen in one fiscal year, and it doesn't, and it spills over. If we adopt a project ordinance for it, we only have to budget for it for once. So what this ordinance does then is appropriate monies, both the Golden Leaf money and what the town has to put in order to proceed forward with this project. And if you had a chance to look at the ordinance itself, this project's estimated to cost $855,000, $854. $500,000 of that's coming from the Golden Leaf grant, which means the town has to come up with the remaining $355,854, which we have that in the enterprise fund, the water and sewer fund, in our reserves or fund balance for that. So, and again, this is just a cost estimate. I have a feeling this project isn't going to cost this much to actually construct, but we won't know until we get it engineered and let it out for bid.
Any questions for Randy concerning this project?
Mayor, I have one. So if it costs less, we still get the 500? It's not a percentage?
That's correct. That's
Okay.
my understanding.
Good.
Okay, and this, you said it, but I want to make sure I'm clear on it. This does include the engineering and the construction of this project,
It does, yes.
so nothing's left out for us to
No.
hit later on. Okay.
Any other questions?
Mine is just a question, sort of regarding this. So we just granted the sidewalk waiver for this property, correct?
Yes.
So they're saving a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
Is there any way in the future to, when we give a waiver, if we have something like this coming up behind it, to do a swap deal, so that you don't have to spend $300,000 on your sidewalk, give us $100 that we can pay towards water and sewer?
That's the council's prerogative. You
is
certainly
it
can.
allowed? I think it would be a good idea going forward.
It may not be a bad idea to do it in this project. Go back to the,
See if they're willing to chip in?
Go back to UNC and tell them what it's gonna cost us. Would you be willing to chip in $100,000?
Well, a well would be quite a bit.
Huh?
The dig a well would be quite a bit.
Yeah.
You have
This site isn't real far from our sewer either. I did get an engineer's cost estimate for extending the sewer from down at Stony Creek up the hill to this site. And if you split that three ways between UNC, the town, and the property owner on the other side of Red Oak Road from this, it would be about $113,000 each, and we could have that sewer run up, and then this 7-acre site for the medical clinic and the 20 acres across the road from it would have access to both water and sewer.
That would be great.
I think you need to look into it.
That's a whole
Now,
lot.
I put that question to Jason Brandt with Nash, or UNC Health Nash, and I haven't heard back from him yet on that. But, my thought is, there's nearly a 20,000 square foot building there, medical facility, and it's got restrooms in multiple places, and every exam room's got a sink in it. They're going to have a fairly large septic system in order to accommodate all that wastewater. And I would think they'd be looking at spending some pretty good money to put in a system of that size.
Well,
So,
we've got a waiver on the sidewalk that gives them some money. They should be willing to ante it.
but I can pursue both.
Okay, thank you.
That would be good. Any other questions? So do I hear a motion to approve the adopted ordinance 2025-22 appropriating funding for the Red Oak Road Water Extension Project and directing the town engineer and town staff to proceed with the project and with Randy's investigation of other opportunities?
Oh, I make that motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
The next item on our agenda is engineering contract for Red Oak Road Water Extension Project.
So, Mayor and Council, as I mentioned before, we did go through a request for proposals on engineering services for this particular project, and Stocks Engineering was selected to be the most qualified of those that submitted RFQs. So we asked them for a contract, and they submitted the attached contract. So they will design and get permitting for this project, let it out for bid, and then oversee the construction of this project. And their price for doing that is $87,790. And that is included in that overall project cost of $855,000.
Any questions from the council for Randy? If not, do I hear a motion to approve Resolution 2025-23 awarding $87,790 engineering contract to Stocks Engineering for the Red Oak Road Water Extension Project?
So move.
Second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The next item on our agenda is the local ABC license fee. Sean? I skipped one, didn't I?
Oh, you skipped one.
I did.
Threw me off.
The next one is,
Please, 101.
excuse me, 101, excuse me. My tab fell out. The next one is the equipment shelter for the town garage shop.
So Mayor and Council, you graciously budgeted $300,000 in the current year budget to build a larger equipment storage shelter at the Public Works garage. So we, staff went out and put together some plans and specifications for that, for a pre-engineered building to be built there, 50 feet wide, 180 feet long, and 20 feet high. The one we have there right now is only 13 feet high, and any of our large vehicles, we can't get under it, so they all sit out in the weather all the time. But anyway, we got 4 proposals. Hill Building Contractors from Wilson at $195,850. Smithen Inc. of Rocky Mount for $218,955. BCS Contractors of Spring Hope for $250,000. And Nesco Inc. from Tarboro at $287,000. So staff is recommending going with the low bid from Hill Building Contractors. I did hear from Susan Phelps with Nash County Economic Development that Hill Brothers was awarded the county's last shell building, and they've done other work for Nash County as far as buildings and got a good rapport.
Good. Any questions for Randy? If not, do I hear a motion to approve Resolution 2025-25, awarding $195,850 construction contract to Hill Building Contractors from Wilson for the construction of a 50 by 180 foot equipment shelter at the town garage shop?
Move to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Glad to get that. I
And
think
when
it,
will they start?
Well, we have one more item on this agenda to take care of. We have to get the old building out of the way.
yeah. The next item is, Sean, I think. It's your turn, Sean.
Good morning once again, Mayor and Council. First of all, we would like to thank you for upping the fees during the budget schedule for the zoning department and planning department during this year's budget cycle. It was one fee that was overlooked. This is one of those fees that we typically do not see that much, but when they do come in, you get a slew of them at one time. That is the local government opinion zoning inspection form that business owners have to apply for through the town to be able to send up to Raleigh to the North Carolina ABC Board to be able to get an ABC license to sell beer, wine, or mixed spirit drinks in their facility. I did some checking around because right now we had maybe 3 or 4 already apply during this time of the season, spring and summer. I checked around with the town of Spring Hope with town manager Andrew Dianio. I also checked with Nash County and the city of Rocky Mount. They do charge this, and I just overlooked this when we were doing our budget because it just doesn't come in that much in Nashville. But I think we should charge a fee. Spring Hope is charged, I believe, $40. I think $35 is a good fee amount. If somebody that's a business owner wants to come into town, have us fill out this form, take time out of our schedule to fill it out. Then we have to get it notarized by a town employee to charge $35 for doing this service for them.
Any comments or questions? If not, do I hear a motion to approve an amendment 2025-2026 fee schedule that includes a $35 fee for processing the local government opinion form for an ABC license?
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Sean.
Thank you, Mayor and Council.
The next item is surplus vehicles and equipment.
So, Mayor and Council, we replace vehicles and machinery equipment from time to time, and then we have the old stuff. And we have been using an online auctioning service to dispose of those, which is in line with state statute that allows us to do that after they're declared surplus. So we have the 2010 chipper truck, the 2014 Ford F-150 pickup, a compacting roller, vintage about 1962. I'm not exactly sure on that. Kevin wasn't either. Landscaping truck, the Chevy, the 2500. We have a 1,000-gallon propane tank that is out there on Cook Road from that property we bought, the council bought, and then the residential water well pumping equipment that was out there too. We've had that well out there capped and sealed, so that's been taken care of, and this is just left over. The other thing on there also is our old equipment shelter at the Public Works Garage. And we will advertise that for sale. Whoever wants to buy it, it'll be known that they have to remove it, take it down and remove it in a set time frame. And I have an advertisement ready to go for that. If the council approves the declaring of all this surplus, I'd like to have that done and out of there by September 1st so that our new building could be started after September 1st to be built there. Now, that building we have there right now does have a concrete floor in it, and one of the things that cost us less money when we got the bids, we're going to be able to reuse that concrete. All they're going to do is add a 5-foot pad on the front, extend it to the west 20 feet, and extend it to the back 20 feet. Then we can get our new shed over top of it. And again, it's a pre-engineered building, so you know, all that's been taken care of, and the company just has to come in and put it up.
Any questions concerning these?
Who's paying for the cement? We are, or the bid is?
It's in the bid for the building.
all right.
Yes, the concrete
Missed
work,
that.
and there's some prep work in the back. It's got to be cored down so you can get the 6 inches of concrete, and on the east end of that building, the land falls off a little bit, but they're going to fill in there and compact that and bring that part up.
Is the pad we already got 6 inches?
We believe so, yes. The building that's there that we're selling, Jimmy Carson with Smith and scratched his head a little bit and said, I may have put this up for you about 40 years ago. He wasn't quite sure, but he's put up a lot of buildings in his career.
Any other comments or questions? If not, do I hear a motion to declare the attached list of vehicles and equipment as surplus and sell them on an online auction, and declare the attached building as surplus and sell it with advertised sealed bids?
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. And I think that concludes our agenda for today. Are there any other comments or concerns from the council? If not, do I hear a motion to adjourn this meeting?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned.
Thank you, everyone.